Hey everybody, I'm Mr. Yates. I'm the school counselor at Cooper. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video today. Very disappointed that I didn't get a chance to come out and meet you in person at your school. In a normal school year, I would have brought my computer and this presentation out and got to meet you in person, and we would have gone through all the information we're going to cover today. And I would have hopefully at that point got you excited to come to Cooper, but we're going to do our best to do that virtually today. So let's go ahead and get started. There are three things that we believe at Cooper. The first one is that if you work hard and if we work hard supporting you, everybody has the ability to be successful. So we know it kind of goes both ways, right? Not only are you going to have to be committed to making sure that you do the best that you can, but we're going to commit to you to make sure that we do the best that we can to support you and all the goals that you may have for yourself. The second thing that we believe is the past is the past. So if you're out there and you've had some negative experiences, or maybe you didn't do as well as you wanted to in elementary school, we're going to leave all that behind and we're going to start fresh, and we're going to make these next 2 to 3 years at Cooper the best years that they could possibly be. And if you did really well in elementary school, I don't want you just to rely on that. I want you to understand that it's going to take the same amount of work and probably more in middle school to be successful as well. The third thing that we believe is that we have the choice every day that we wake up to commit to being either a positive influence in the world or a negative one. At Cooper, we want you every single day that you get up to commit to being a positive influence, not only in the world, but on our campus. Okay, so let's talk about what a school counselor does. You may not be familiar with this. Many of you don't have a school counselor on your campus in elementary school. So we're going to go over kind of what that looks like at Cooper. So there's 3 areas as a school counselor that I'm going to help support you in as a student. Your academics, your social emotional, and then we're going to also be supporting you through doing college and career research. So let's dive into each one of these a little bit further. Academics. So these are things like I may pull you into my office and we may talk about your grades. So maybe we're going to talk about how you could be doing better in your classes. Maybe we could talk about things like study skills and organization, and really help support you to make sure that you're making good choices and that you have all the skills necessary to be successful academically at our school. We may also talk about things like getting you into tutorial, or maybe having you join the after school program because maybe you're struggling in an area. Additionally, if you're a student who is accelerated in their learning, somebody who is ready to kind of go above and beyond, we're going to talk about opportunities for you to do that. For those accelerated students, we're also going to have some scholarship opportunities that we'll be talking about, especially in 7th grade. In the social emotional areas, I may help you if you have conflicts with students, if you have conflicts with teachers, maybe there's some things going on at home that you're really struggling with and you may need help with. That's when it would be a really good opportunity for you to come talk to me, and we could work together to kind of make those problems a little bit more manageable and help you build some skills to be able to deal with them better. The last area that I deal with, and when it comes to students, is college and career readiness. So one of the things that we want to make sure in middle school is that you're ready and prepared to go to high school. We know after high school, there's going to be some choices that you're going to be making. Some of you are going to make the choice to go on to college. Some of you are going to make the choice to go into a career. And I want to do everything that I can as your school counselor while you're in middle school to get you prepared and to give you some information about how to make the best choice for yourself. So we'll be doing college and career research, all 2 or 3 years that you're at Cooper, to help you really figure out, what are the things that you may be interested in, what are some colleges or careers that are a best fit for you. So as a school counselor, my commitment is I'm going to help you in all 3 of those areas, and I'm going to be available to you to help support you and guide you over the next 2 years to make some good choices for your future. Okay, so normally I would have come out to your school and we would have talked about elective requests, and you would have jumped on the computer and gone to Atlas and made those choices yourself. Now, many of you have already done this because I sent out some information about making sure that you pick your electives, but let me explain to you a little bit more about how this works. So the electives that you chose, you did a ranking, not a choice. Okay, so I want to make that clear. You told me, Mr. Yates, this is my 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or if you're a 7th grader, your 5th choice. And I'm going to do my best to give you your 1st choice, but it may not happen. We don't always have the ability to give everybody their 1st choice, so we may have to go to a 2nd or even a 3rd choice. Now, let me kind of explain how this is going to look differently for 6th and 7th graders. Okay, for 6th graders, your choices were choir, orchestra, band, and art. Okay, now every 6th grader will take an art class, and the way that we're going to do this is the one half of the year you're going to be in art, the other half of the year you're going to be in a music class. Okay, so now for some of you, you may start the first half of the year in art and then switch to a music class. And for the other group of you, you will start in a music class and then switch to an art class. In 7th grade, you're not going to do any switching. Whatever class you end up in for your elective, you're going to be in there for the entire year. Okay, and you have the choice of choosing from choir, orchestra, band, guitar, and art. If you have questions about electives, or once you get your course request letter from me, if you have questions at that point, make sure you email me and reach out to me, and I'd be happy to answer those questions. Okay, so let's talk about what classes look like at Cooper. We're not going to get into the class schedule or anything like that. All that information you'll be able to access through our website, but we are going to talk about what classes you're going to be taking. Everybody at Cooper takes 8 classes. So those include English, history, math, science, Spanish. Every student at Cooper takes a Spanish class. Okay, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders are all in Spanish. In 6th grade is what we call exploratory Spanish. So you're just kind of learning the basics of Spanish and getting familiar with it. And then you have Spanish 1, Spanish 2, and Spanish for native speakers that are available in 7th and 8th grade. And those are actually high school level courses. We'll talk a little bit more about why those are impactful when you get to Cooper next year. Everybody will also be enrolled in a design course. That's a specific IB class. You probably have never heard of that. And that's okay. You're going to learn a lot about that when you get to Cooper. Everybody will also be in a PE class, and then you will be in a VAPA course, which we call Visual or Performing Arts, okay? And that's your art or your music class. So you won't have 8 classes every single day. The way our schedule is you have 8 classes on Monday, and then you have 4 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And we'll get into more details about that later on in the beginning of the year, and you'll get some information on our website about what that schedule actually looks like. Okay, dress code. This is everybody's favorite topic, so I am not going to get into any detail for you here, but I just want to say you're probably familiar with the dress code. You've probably seen our students waiting outside of your school. You may even have siblings that are familiar with the dress code. A couple things to keep in mind. Even if you had a sibling, or whether you've never been to Cooper and you have no idea what the dress code is, I want you to wait to make any decisions about clothes to buy or backpacks to buy or shoes or anything like that until you get our summer mailer. So this year it's going to work a little bit different. We are going to mail home a packet of forms that you need to complete and you need to bring back to Cooper. And then you'll also be able to go onto our website and see things like our bell schedule and our dress code and all of that. So once you get that summer mailer, it'll have a link to our website as to where to go to get the information about dress code and bell schedule. So make sure you and your family get on and check all that out before you make any decisions about getting anything new for the upcoming school year. Okay, sports. So in middle school, sports are divided up by quarter. So each quarter, there's a few sports that are available for students to participate in. And there's really only one distinction here. So football in quarter 1, 6th graders can only play flag football, and 7th graders are able to play, 7th and 8th, are able to play tackle football. Okay, so that's a distinction that's important to keep in mind, but otherwise all the sports that you see here are open to 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And the other thing that's kind of important to keep in mind is in order to be eligible to play sports in middle school, you have to maintain a 2.0 GPA or higher in the 2 previous quarters. So for example, if I wanted to play baseball in the 3rd quarter, that means to be eligible to even try out and to be on the team, I had to have above or at or above a 2.0 GPA in quarter 1 and in quarter 2 to be able to play my quarter 3 sport of baseball. Okay, and we'll talk more about that. Anybody that is an athlete at Cooper, we go and we talk about sports eligibility and how important it is to be what we call a student athlete. So notice that the first word there is student. So at Cooper, we really want to make sure that not only are you taking care of business on the field in your sport, but you also need to make sure that you're taking care of business in the classroom and keeping your grades up as well. Okay, the other fun thing at Cooper is clubs. We have tons of clubs. Our students are very engaged and very active. Last year we had over 30 clubs, and it was everything from photo club to animal cruelty or preventing animal cruelty club to cooking club. And you can get involved in as few or as many clubs as you want. One of the things that we talk a lot about at Cooper is being balanced. That's one of our IB learner profile traits. So when it comes to clubs, you want to make sure that you're not overextending yourself, right? We don't want you involved in 6 clubs and you're also playing a sport and you're also trying to keep up with your grades, that's too much to manage. So you want to make sure that you stay balanced, that you're involved in things, but that you're not overextending yourself. And clubs are one of those things that we definitely want our students involved in. And it's a great way to be active on campus. It's a great way to get involved, to meet students with similar interests. I know I've had a lot of kids who joined a club and then made some new friends. And so that's a great way for our incoming students to kind of get connected to our campus as well. If you're interested in joining a club, we normally will have a club rush where all of the club advisors are out during lunch and you can go meet with them and talk to them about what their club is. You can sign up. And if you don't find a club that you're interested in, all you need to do is find an adult advisor and a few friends and you could start that club yourself. So those are a couple options for you to get involved in next year. Okay, so this was a pretty quick presentation. Just wanted to give you some information. Normally, if we were doing this in person, it would take a lot longer because there'd probably be questions and other things that come up, but fortunately, we can't do that virtually. So we're gonna go ahead and direct you to our website. So the link is right here on or the address is right here on the screen, and you're gonna click on where it says Future Cougar Information, and that's gonna get you to our Future Cougar page where all the information that you need to get ready to come to Cooper is going to be available to you. The other way that you can get involved with us is you can email me directly, michael.yates@fresnounified.org. You can also find me on Instagram at mryates_Cooper. You can find our Cooper Academy activities page at Cooper Academy_activities. And then if you or your family is on Facebook, you can find us on there as well. And we really encourage you and your family to get connected with us in one way or another. We're going to be providing lots of information, especially in the circumstance that we're in right now. We're going to be providing that information virtually and digitally. And so we really want to make sure that you're connected in as many ways as possible. If after this presentation you find that you have questions, just reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer them. And if we get a lot of questions and a lot of them are similar, I'll probably put out another video answering some of those questions. So please don't hesitate to reach out. And we're really excited. We can't wait to see you next school year and hope you have a great summer. And please, please, please stay safe.